Do you want me to prove this to you?
He's crawling in the mud and he picks up the ring.
Yeah. Do you know what do you know who they show before that? They show Gollum in his cave.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do!
We're live in 5,
4, 3, 2. Oh, we don't say 2.
Welcome back to the Binc Film Podcast. Today we're going to do things a little differently. I'm going to be the douchebag doing the intro. I'm going to do my best to imitate
You can't say that.
the not-so co-host.
You can't say that.
Welcome back to the Binc Film Podcast. I'm Josh Rivers here with my host, the EGB. Today we're going to be talking about AI. We got sleeping cats. I got my Charlotte outfit on. Charlotte's coming out tomorrow. Welcome back. How's it going? Happy to be here. Could you give us a little weekly recap?
Let me just be clear that the fact that they're making fun of me for bringing energy to an otherwise rather
I was
tame
not making
product.
fun.
You just said I was the douchebag that...
I was...
Making fun.
No.
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 No, he would never. Oh, no! You told me I couldn't push the other buttons. That's not fair. How many more of them have sounds?
Quite a few.
I'm not allowed to cuss. That's not fair. I had all those buttons at my disposal. I would have gone ham sandwich.
Did you hear who that was?
No! Doesn't matter. There's more buttons.
We have a special guest.
Who is it?
I'll press it again so you can hear.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Listen carefully.
I'm going. Oh, no. It's Jar Jar.
It is Jar Jar.
Oh, no.
I have a Jar Jar soundboard ready to go for you
Son
today.
of a... Damn.
Yep.
Okay.
So
All
now,
right.
so Jar Jar can kick things off by saying things like,
This is very, very bad.
I hate everything about it. I hate everything about. Can we get a copyright strike for that? Is it a
don't
maybe?
try, don't, no, I know what you're doing. Stop. Stop. Stop.
I don't know, man. It seems kind of risky to me.
Stop.
Okay. Today we're gonna be talking about artificial intelligence, AI, not the movie with Is it Robin Williams? No. That's the one where
What
he's-
movie?
That's Bicentennial Man. Who's the kid in AI? Really sad movie, actually.
Who's the kid in AI?
You know the movie I'm talking about, right?
No.
That's where I'm going. You haven't seen AI?
It's just called AI.
It's just called AI.
No.
It's oh man, what is he in? He's also in Sixth Sense. That
Bruce
kid.
Willis?
No, the kid.
Jude Law?
Dude, whatever. We're not talking about that movie, okay?
Haley
That's
Joel
the whole point. Yeah, that one. Haley Joel, what?
Osmond?
Osmond. But we're not talking about that movie. That was where I was going with that. Was like not the movie AI, you know, the one with the kid. We're talking about the future of artificial intelligence. Our thoughts on it. You don't care, but we have thoughts, so we're just gonna say them. But before we do that, did you hear about there's a 104-year-old woman who went skydiving. She's from Chicago. Did you hear about this?
No.
She died.
Oh, thanks for sharing that with me.
Not while skydiving. Although if you're gonna go at 104, why not? Like that'd be kind of wild.
I don't think I could ever go skydiving.
If I was 104, like I just man, I don't want to be here. Throw me out of a plane. I hope it doesn't work. Like whatever. That's how I would look at it.
You can't joke about the D word.
You can't joke about the D word, and the D word is
What?
dude. That's
you want
in
to
the
say
background.
that again?
That's in. We can
You
hear
want to
that.
say that?
We can
You wanna
hear
say,
you.
Here, let me point this to you.
No, don't.
Yuck.
Oh my God! It came
Paul
through
Rudd.
so
Is it
clear.
a mirror? Is that Wanderlust?
No, that was not a thing.
No,
Yuck.
you
Yeah, dude.
you literally just made that up. You just made it up. He just made it
He
up.
made it up.
He made it up.
He made it up.
So, artificial intelligence. What do you know about it? Talking like Chat GPT.
I use
Smart.
it.
Do you really?
I do.
What do you use it for?
I use it for music things.
Gonna need you to expand on that. Like,
So-
the audience isn't gonna just accept music things. Like, nice, dude. He uses it for music things.
So, for example, I was working on a music pack,
Okay.
right? It's just a bunch of tracks of a style, and if you're like a game developer and you can't afford a composer, you can buy this pack.
Okay.
So I took all these tracks that I had written from years ago, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to call all of these? They just need like generic, stupid names. You know, the name doesn't matter. So I'm like, Darkened Kingdom. Whatever. I don't know. I can't think of any.
Boy, that really went sideways. Spotify listeners are just
that's-
sitting there going,
That's why I used it, because I can't come up with the names
People
for
are gonna
them.
look at their phones and be like, "Did it stop? I don't understand. Like, did I lose service? What happened?"
But see, that's my point exactly. Is I can't come up with these names, just generic, stupid names, but they need to have names.
Okay.
So I go on there and give me 30 generic fantasy track titles,
Oh.
and it just all the way down. And
People do
Done.
use it for everything. I work in a sales position, and a lot of our salespeople. Well, I won't say a lot, but some of our salespeople, like in a bunch of companies, use Chat GPT to write cold emails to prospects. You can just tell it like, "Hey, write me a cold email to a logistics customer," and it somehow just does it better than I ever could, which doesn't speak to my sales skills. But
okay, I got a little AI story for you.
okay, I'm nervous, but I'm listening.
So when this first came out to the public, of course, the first thing that I did was ask it like weird questions, like,
Of course you did.
"Do you know who I am?" You know, stuff like that.
Are you talking about like the Snapchat AI?
No, the Chat GPT.
Oh, okay.
So I asked it. I was trying to get it to do something like creepy or unpredictable. So I was just asking it like, "Who am I?" Blah blah blah. So I asked, "Do you know where I am?"
The Muffin Man.
And it's like, "Due to privacy concerns, blah, 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 I can't answer that." And so I'm like, "Okay, will you play a game?" And it's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Okay, the game is you have to guess where I am." And it said, "Okay, go ahead."
Oh no.
And I just said, "Where am I?" And it was like, that's not enough information. So I'm like, "Okay, I'll give you some clues." I said, "I'm a musician. Where am I?" And I was sitting right here in this chair on this computer. And it's like, "Based on the information you've given me, I would assume that you are either in a classroom, concert hall, or studio."
Okay.
So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Okay, how can we up this one
I thought you
level?"
were about to sell that as like it knew where I was, and I was like, yeah, man. If you told me you were a musician, my first guess would have been studio.
No, but
too.
this next one is crazy.
Okay.
It's not gonna, make you scared or anything, but just the
I'm already
the
scared.
capability for this thing to process even what your question is just insane. So then I asked it, the cat's sitting right next to me, and I say, "What is right next to me?"
Oh no. Does it say cat?
It said, "Based on the information you've given me, it is more than likely that you are sitting next to a family member or pet."
Oh, nice. That's interesting. I think now that you mention it, I want to look at my Snapchat AI because I'm an idiot, dude. Like everybody said forever, they're like, "Hey, don't talk." Oh, you can't even look at your old chats with it. Whatever. I got into it because I was like, "This is cool. This is kind of neat. And this is new." And then everybody was like, "Hey, man, stop talking to the robot."
That one creeped a lot of
giving
people out.
Yeah, well, you're basically giving information away at a certain point. Like that's how people guess passwords and stuff like that. It used to be the reason that all like old people got like their passwords hacked, and I shouldn't say old people, but elderly people were primarily victims of it.
104-year-old skydiver people.
Yeah, that's what got her, man. They got her password. Next thing you know. But the reason that a lot of folks got their passwords targeted is like all those stupid little quizzes that pop up on Facebook. It's like, take this quiz to find out whatever. All it does is record all your information, and then they sell it, and then somebody who has more time on their hands than they probably should just takes cracks at your password until they get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they message all your friends like, "Hey, you want to know a quick way to make $500?" And then your friends are like, "What? Is this Kathy?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's Kathy. Why would you?" Of course.
Do you think they use AI to listen to you through your phone? Do you think a lot of people talk about how your phone listens?
Oh my
Do you think
God.
that's true?
I used to be the guy who was like, "Dude, come on, grow up. Like, they have way better things to do than listen to your phone." And I think from a government standpoint, like, yeah, I don't think the government listens that hard.
Well, I just mean that like with AI now,
I
it
think
can
so.
listen.
I think it does, and here's why. There's too many times because I used to hear people talking about, I was talking about this product, and next thing I know, it was on my phone. And I was like, yeah, you probably looked for it, you idiot. Like, yeah, of course it's gonna pop up on your phone. And then there's been a couple of times where I have, in passing, mentioned something to somebody, and then it's immediately on my phone. before I got into sports cards, honestly, AI listening to me have conversations is the reason I developed a addiction to sports cards, which is basically cardboard NFTs. Like, buy a picture of this guy. Okay, cool. I mentioned it to a buddy. I was like, yeah, I used to collect Pokemon cards back in the day. Wonder what they'd be worth now, which the answer is a lot. But that's all I said. That's all I said. I wasn't Googling Pokemon cards. I wasn't shopping for nothing. And then the very next day, it's like, check out this new app called Whatnot. You can buy and sell Pokemon cards on it. And I was like, oh.
Okay, I'm going to hit you with something that might sway you the other way just a little bit. Because I had this thing happen where this girl I was dating, she was looking to buy a doll for her daughter. And she was on her phone looking at this specific type of doll, and we were talking about it.
Okay.
The next day, I saw an advertisement for that doll on my phone.
I don't like it.
And I was like, okay, there is no reason a doll should be showing up as an advertisement on one of my devices. It doesn't make any sense. She didn't use my phone. Nobody used my phone. It doesn't add up, right? So I did a little bit of digging, and I discovered something crazy about Facebook
Tell me more.
that maybe a lot of people don't know.
I believe it's Meta at this point.
Shut up.
Okay.
So, wait, maybe I have a button for that. Let's go with this one.
Excuse me.
Nope, that's the wrong one. This one.
Crazy.
There we go.
Crazy.
So
This is going to be way too much of a part of our podcast.
what it does is you look for something on your phone,
Yes.
and then Facebook will take that and it will suggest things to friends of yours based on your relationship status or friendship status to
That's
them.
interesting.
So because it knew that we were in a relationship together, it's like, well, she's, late 20-year-old female looking for
Okay.
dolls. This must be for a kid. They're in a relationship. Let's feed that advertisement to him too.
That makes sense, actually. That makes a lot more sense than my phone listening to me.
I mean, it probably still is listening, but there are crazy ways that they can do it that's not quite as creepy.
So that's interesting, and that actually changes my mind a little bit. So that's good to hear.
Yeah,
that
it's a little comforting, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, which explains why like Pokemon cards and stuff like that would pop up on mine, because everybody I hang out with is
Right.
big into it. I used to see memes and TikToks of it would be some girl in a relationship with her boyfriend, and he leaves his phone on the counter, and she walks, because they say your phone's listening, right, and it has targeted advertising, and she'd walk past the phone on the counter and lean into it and be like, engagement rings, wedding dresses, wedding venues, and just start saying all these hot button words just to see if it would give him targeted advertisements. That's it's genius if you think about it. And I'm already an easy sell. I think I've said that in a prior episode, but that makes it so much harder for me to save money.
I'm really excited for what AI can do with time saving things with production.
That would be nice.
So for example, with music, there's so many tedious little programming things that can take you hours to do. Whereas if there was an AI that was trained to rewrite that programming, it could just in an instant do it for you, save you hours of time. That's the kind of AI stuff that I'm excited for. The stuff I'm not excited for is the AI that just replaces you.
Yeah, that's going to be the tough part. AI and music and sound, that would be clutch. You can ask Michael. He complains
He does.
nonstop about having to do sound.
Right. AI should be something that enhances us, not replaces us.
That's a scary thought. I mean, I'm not going to be one of these doomsayers who's like, that's it, the robots are coming. That's not what I'm saying. It's not like Terminator or anything like that. But it's interesting to get people's opinions on where you think that line is, right? How far is too far when it comes to AI? How much do we really want an AI doing what removes the human aspect of it? And I think it's an important question, right? Where do you draw the line? At what point is it too much where AI is involved? We've already got self-checkouts and stuff like that, so people complain well, that takes jobs from people because now there's nobody running that checkout stand. And
See, that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When they first added self-checkouts, it was like the coolest thing ever because it's like, I don't really want to stand in line. I'll just go through. But
Yeah.
now they closed down all those registers.
oh yeah,
People no longer work the register, so now you just do the job.
yeah,
You don't get through there faster because now everyone's in that line. It's so irritating.
yeah. You walk into a Target on any like random day, there's 2 people at registers.
Yep.
And the rest of it's self-checkout.
Yep.
Bill Burr's got a pretty good bit on that
He
too.
does.
Shout
I
out
love
Bill
it
Burr.
so much.
When he talks about like, yeah, this is my store. You come in, you pick out what you want, you ring it up, you bag it up, you pay me, you get the hell out.
Like, oh, I didn't know I work here. I forgot my apron.
Am I on the schedule? Do you recognize me? It's because I don't work here.
That's actually one of my favorite. Little...
Michael, write that down. I'm sorry. I slipped.
Is that your first one?
That's my only one. The whole day. I've done really good.
Excuse me.
Dang it.
You gotta...
Oops.
Oh, there you go. I like that. Oops.
These notes don't quite align with the buttons. So
You're gonna have to label them. Get
I
like
know.
put like Scotch tape over them and then put dry erase on it so we can just
Something.
squeegee it off.
something.
Yeah, yeah. That's the interesting part with AI is knowing where to stop, and I mean it even gets involved in like the military. If you have an army of self-flying aircraft or like UAVs and drones and stuff like that, it really removes the humanity from it, and that's one of the big deterrences from war is there's people involved, right? So if you don't have that deterrence, then what's to stop somebody from robot wars and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
I
I mean, it
mean-
sounds sci-fi, but I mean, how far away from it are we really?
I think it's just going to be one of those things where as the technology advances crazier and crazier, less people will be able to compete. So there will be less conflicts between people that can't participate in that
Yeah.
conflict. Like if you think about like the first people that had guns and they show up with guns and people are like, well, that's not even human anymore. They just
Yeah.
stand over there and they go like this and now we're all dead. Now what? Now there's no human element in war.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, now those people just work for them.
It's different, right? It's different from that aspect because there's still people involved, right? There's a person on the business end of that rifle and there's a person on the receiving end of that rifle. So that doesn't change the human element. There's still a person involved. If it's
right.
just like
What I'm saying though is the people that will be on the receiving end will be people who also have that same capability.
Yeah.
Not people that don't have that capability.
right, but then you start talking about like civilian casualties and whatnot. It's a different topic. We could have a whole episode in the ethics of warfare.
I bet
don't
he
think-
would love that
yeah,
episode.
Michael's gonna love that. Let's talk about the morality of war. No, AI is interesting. I think it's really cool. Like seeing we're in this weird new age of it, right? Where AI is really starting to take off for real. Things like Chat GPT are happening where it looks like a person is having a conversation with you. We never had anything like that growing up.
You know what I
right?
like to think about with all that?
Uh-oh.
Is like how long all these companies have had this technology just working on it privately and
Yeah.
just waiting for the other one
That's how
to
technology
release it.
advances.
Yeah, because as soon as one of these chatbots came out, all of a sudden all of them came out.
If you look at I like to compare it to Formula One. If you ever watch Formula One, a lot of the advancements that you see in modern automobiles starts at a motorsports level, particularly Formula One. So like controls on the steering wheel. That was a thing in F1 before it made its way to just regular production automobiles. You see that with everything, right? Like it happens with a lot of advancements with automobiles. It starts at a motorsports level. And unfortunately, I mean, you look at all the advancements that we made in healthcare and stuff like that, a lot of that comes from warfare. Like nobody likes to talk about it. Like all the information that we have on hypothermia and stuff like that comes from a German scientist named Joseph Mengele who would put people like on purpose put POWs and Jews in like freezing water because he's like, I wonder how long it takes a person to freeze to death. That's where we got all of our information on hypothermia. We know as much as we do about it now because of crazy stuff like that. And it's weird to think that AI is just advancing and advancing and advancing and advancing and learning and learning and learning. I'm not one of these, like I said, I'm not one of those people who's like, it's going to become self-sufficient and Skynet and here comes the Terminators and stuff. But it's cool, but there's a layer of uncomfortable to it. It's like, wow, this is really fun to watch, but is anybody
There's
else
no
just a little
stopping
bit
it.
concerned?
There's
Like,
no stopping it.
yeah.
It was really interesting to me to see how quickly it went from, dude, check this out. I used a chatbot to write descriptions on YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And then like 6 months later, it's like, no, man, I didn't use chatbots to write that. I wrote that myself.
Yeah.
Because now you see comments all the time that are like, oh, this looks like it was written by Chat GPT.
GPT.
You know, where now it's like so quick. And I think that's a good thing that it's quickly shunned. And then with like the writer strikes and all that stuff, talking about how they can't be replaced by AI. And so I think that's a good thing.
There's been
ultimately.
a couple shows, I'm not going to name them, but there's been a couple shows with a couple episodes where I was like, that was written by an AI. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Which ones?
Huh? I'm not going to name them. I'm not going to be that guy. But there's a few where...
Secret Invasion, their intro. Did you know about that one?
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Yeah, their intro like credit sequence that was all done with AI.
It's easy to spot if you...
It
if
is
you know what
now.
you're looking for.
Yeah, it is now.
It's a problem in colleges now, too.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways, right? So there's college professors who have caught people cheating using AI, and they're like, oh, you're going to fail now. And then there's college professors who are like, we know this was written by an AI. And the student actually wrote it. Like, no, I wrote this. And he's like, absolutely not. It's written by an AI. I'm failing you. And then this student loses their mind. And it's like, what do I do? I
Yeah,
actually
that's
wrote
crazy.
this. There was an art student who got like a real scolding. I saw this on Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt. Everything you see on the internet's true, right? I saw it on Reddit. This art student was talking about they submitted work for a painting, and the professors were like, this isn't yours. An AI wrote this, or another artist wrote this, or made this. And like, okay. They didn't, and then they sat this person down and like chastised them. And then when they showed them where they got it from, it was that student's own website. They did a reverse Google image search, and like, oh, they didn't do it. It was either an AI or this artist. And then they had to prove to them like, that's my website. I did all that. And it got real uncomfortable for everybody. It's in a weird spot where it's hard to prove, and we're still learning and we're still adapting with it. It's very new.
It is. And on that topic, before we move into overrated, underrated, there's maybe a little quick announcement for people if they don't know.
We should have got this out at the beginning.
It's relevant to the topic. There's
Oh, is this not what I was thinking it was? I'm sorry,
No.
I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, people are using AI deepfakes to create celebrity videos where they're saying, congratulations, I'm Mr. Beast. You won $5,000. And they send these videos and people pull them up and they think it's real.
Yeah.
And then they get scammed out of money. That's what AI is doing now.
They're also using it to make people look bad as well, and try and create this damning evidence on people.
Right.
There was one, somebody made a deepfake one. I saw it on TikTok. I thought it was real at first, and it threw me for a loop. And it's this deepfake of Joe Rogan sitting in front of his microphone, and sometimes when he sits in front of his microphone, it like obscures his face because he's like right behind it. And it's him saying outlandish stuff like, yeah, you know, I used to... I can't say it because it'll flag. But he's talking about domestic violence. I'll put it that way. And it sounds just like him.
Yep.
And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he's admitting to this live on his podcast.
And think about how many people believed that.
Right. Well, if you watch his lips, you see the words don't really sync up.
And some people are still going to watch it
Oh, yeah.
and immediately be like, this is fact.
And that's the scary part.
Yeah.
It's happening to celebrities and stuff like that. But what if somebody were to call my work or my boss and imitate me?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Mr. Boss Man, suck a bag of D's, and just, you know, I'm fired, and I didn't even do anything. And he plays the recording back. He's like, is this you? And I'm like, look, man, I know it sounds like me, but it ain't me. That would be, God, it's a slippery slope. Again, I'm not going to be one of these guys who's fearing progress. Like, it's absolutely the way of the future, but it's uncomfortable for sure.
All right. We're going to move into overrated, underrated real
We
quick.
are? You just get to make the determination.
We're kind of a little behind schedule.
Are we?
Yeah.
I mean, the podcast is on its own channel. We have our own schedule. You got to say something, otherwise the Spotify viewers are like, wait, did I lose signal?
Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Got it?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Overrated, underrated. For those that don't know, I'm going to give you an overrated and an underrated thing, and you have to pick which one you agree with more.
Can you give me a second?
Why? What are you doing?
I just got to send this real quick.
You're sending a message right now?
It's my mom. I love my mom.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Overrated. The Deadpool movies.
Okay.
Underrated. X-Men 1.
I think I'm going to go with overrated on the Deadpool movies.
Yeah?
Yeah, and my main reason being is that it's a good movie. They're both good movies. I enjoy them. I like them.
So just to be clear, you're saying Deadpool is overrated.
I am saying that the statement the Deadpool movies are overrated is more true than the first X-Men movie being underrated. I saw what you tried.
I was trying to hook you up with something there.
Yeah, he's trying to give you some spicy soundbite. It's not going to happen.
Oops.
Put that thing away, dude. You were worried about me overdoing it. I pushed
I'm
the
not
button
overdoing
one
it.
time.
I'm not overdoing it.
Trivia.
Yeah, my main reason behind that is the Deadpool movies are fine, but they're not the comedic masterpieces that some people say they are. And I think X-Men 1 is appropriately rated. It is a fine film.
All right. Speaking of a fine film, we're going to do some trivia now. And picking up off of where we left off last time, you need to put on your punishment.
I'm so hungry. Can you say something so the Spotify viewers don't think
How about this?
Excuse me.
You got to find a different one, man.
I got a couple here, but they don't apply.
Yeah, because
okay?
you don't label anything.
All right. No, I have it labeled
I
right
sound
here.
like a clown because it's nasally.
No, that's how you sound.
No.
Okay, you ready?
No.
This week's trivia will be Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
Here's the problem. I suggested this, and then I realized, I'm like, damn, you actually haven't sat down and watched that movie from start to finish in probably 4 or 5 years. So this is...
You as in yourself?
Yes, me.
Okay.
I set myself up for failure. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
All right.
Here it goes.
Question number 1. Let me get ready for the soundboard. Who was the first Hobbit to appear in Fellowship of the Ring?
It's Gollum, Smeagol. I know I'm right on that.
You're not right.
What is it?
It's Bilbo.
No, it's not.
It is. It shows him finding the ring.
No, it's
yeah,
not.
he's crawling in the mud.
Do you want me to prove this to you?
He's crawling in the mud and he picks up the ring.
Yeah. Do you know what do you know who they show before that? They show Gollum in his cave.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
That-
Hey, is Gollum a hobbit?
Yes. He's
Well-
Smeagol.
He was.
He is.
Pull that up while we're doing this.
I'll fight
I'm pretty
somebody
sure.
over this.
I'm pretty sure it shows that after because stop! Don't pick up your phone. Let me just say. He finds the ring and then you hear him screaming
yes,
and then it
before
shows
that,
him
they
in the
show
cave.
Smeagol in the cave.
I'm pretty sure they show him after because she's explaining
they
that.
can't because he's been captured at that point.
Because no, it's the prologue.
Wait, yes,
It's the
prologue.
prologue.
And she's talking about the rings, and she says it then went to another creature, the most unlikely. Found the creature Gollum in the caves of the Misty Mountains, and it shows him crouching over the lake, and he goes, and then he like looks and he grabs it, and then and then she says in the middle of the night the ring abandoned him.
Did you find it?
Am I right?
Right now.
Okay.
I'm right. I know I'm right. You don't even have to play it. I know I'm right on this.
Where'd you get this quiz from, by the way?
Some random website.
It's wrong. It's wrong. The quiz is wrong, and I'm oh dude.
Oh, sorry. It says the Hobbit movie. I'm just kidding. It says
Okay.
Fellowship of the Ring.
This is very, very bad.
Dude, I promise you it's Smeagol, Gollum. I promise you it's Gollum. It shows him
This isn't the whole thing.
it's
Okay.
crouched.
Well, we'll move on to the second question while he looks at that.
Give me the good noise on that one because I'm right.
No, we
Yes.
don't know yet.
No,
Oh wait, can we just go to the second question?
I'm gonna start cussing.
Calm down.
I'm gonna start
for
cussing.
the realm. For the realm.
I hope
For
that,
the realm.
I hope he gets
For the realm.
I, okay.
I'm going to get that on the soundboard so I don't have to say it myself if you keep doing this.
I'm gonna spill a drink on the soundboard.
Okay? Well, you won't get it back then. Question number 2. What is the Elvish word for friend?
Bello. Yes, it is!
It's a melon. He says it really weird. He does. You want to throw a tantrum about that one too?
Dude, this is...
Do you want to throw a tantrum?
I literally said it like...
Gundax? Is that what you said?
Gundarks, duh!
Okay. You ready?
This is penance for me saying, clip this, I'm gonna piss off some nerds. This is penance for that. Because now I'm actually gonna get made fun of by... God, I'm sorry. Write that down. I cussed again.
Write it down. Okay. What does Pippin drop down the well in the Mines of Moria?
A skeleton in a bucket.
There's technically a third one on here. A skeleton, a bucket,
And a chain? Okay. I literally need to be 3-0 right now. I literally need to be 3-0 right now.
Are you done?
No, I'm furious, dude. I got robbed on the first one. I'm not giving that up. I have 2 right minimum and should be 3.
Oh, okay. Question number 4. What color horse was Legolas riding on when he came to Rivendell?
The obvious answer is white, but I think it was brown. Just hit the button.
Which one are you picking?
I said brown.
Final answer?
Yes. It was white.
It was white.
Dumb. Write that down.
All right, question number 5. So that's... How many do you have then?
I have 3.
You have 2.
Oh, this would be the third one.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like it shows Gollum in the cave.
Who could have predicted this?
I'm just going off the quiz here.
The quiz sucks. That's why I don't believe
Wow. I mean, technically, he's not a hobbit at that point. So
he is a hobbit.
he's not.
He doesn't change species. He's just corrupted by the ring.
Is the Nazgul a human?
They're men, yes.
No, they're wraiths.
They are.
I mean, they're not humans anymore.
Okay, the hyperdrive washing machine is coming through again.
Okay, people in the comments, let us know. This guy over here with the clown nose is throwing
Don't do
a
this.
tantrum right now.
Don't do this.
Is Gollum still a hobbit, or is he something else?
He's corrupted by the ring. He's a hobbit.
But is he a hobbit? Is the question.
Okay, dude, it doesn't work that way.
What way?
If you keep oh god, I can't think of the guy's name now. When a Isildur takes the ring and leaves with it, it's not like, well, that's not a Isildur anymore. He's not a man because he kept the ring. Like, no, he's still a guy. He's still a man.
So what about the Nazgul then? Why aren't they men anymore?
Well, I mean, if you want to get technical with it, in the
Oh
movies,
yeah, we're getting technical.
in the movies, Aragorn says they were once men,
Correct.
implying that they no longer are. But that he's still a hobbit because he hasn't.
Is he though?
He doesn't. The Nazgul serve Sauron, and they've been corrupted into these spirits.
But it's not the serving that changes; it's the corruption.
Right, it's what they become. They're not real. They're ethereal at that point. Gollum is still a thing. Like if you cut Gollum's head off, he dies.
The Nazgul are still a thing.
Right, but they can't be killed unless you're a woman. That puts them in a different plane there.
All right, let's
Give me the 5th question before I have a freaking aneurysm.
Let us know what you think.
Don't.
In the beginning of the movie, how many rings are given to the elves? Come on, this is an easy one.
Oh God,
Come on, really?
I don't remember.
You earned that clown nose. You earned it.
9 for men, 7 for dwarves. 5? It's 4, isn't it?
3.
Yeah.
All right.
That because of the Hobbit movie.
We're going for 7. We're going for 7. I gave you 7. I want 7. I want 7.
Okay, we got a couple here, so I got to pick a good one.
I can't miss anymore. Dude, you're scrolling. That's ass cheeks.
No,
I gave them to you in order.
10 in total.
No, listen, dude, some of these are already answered. This one is what dwarven mines do they travel through? That was in the question I already asked you. Who received the Great Rings? We just covered that.
When did you say Moria?
What does Pippin drop
He doesn't
down
even
the
touch on
well
it.
in the mines of Moria?
Oh,
You
there
can
it is.
play the clip of me saying that 5 minutes ago.
It's about to happen.
He
It's gonna
doesn't.
be.
He doesn't touch on. He doesn't touch on that.
Whatever. Go.
Oops.
Shut up.
Okay, moving on. So what's the score?
I have 2 right, 3 wrong.
Okay, so you need to get these next 2 then.
Yeah, no kidding. That's how it works.
To which mountains did Gollum take the ring?
The Misty Mountains.
All right, this one's gonna be tough.
Great.
During the introduction, since you know it so well, he's getting the clown nose ready. A map is shown 3 times. During times 1 and 3, what place is shown in the map, in the middle of the map?
What?
Okay, let me reword that. Let me reword that.
That doesn't make any sense.
During the introduction,
Yeah, they show the map of Middle Earth.
it keeps showing the map.
Yes.
And 2 of those 3 times it focuses on a specific place while it's talking.
He gives me the most outlandish questions. I want that to be known. Like I
didn't come up with this.
I gave you trivia questions that were like reasonable. Like this is an honest, like actual trivia question. You're giving me trivia questions that were like, did you pause it at frames 4 and 6?
Multiple choice, that's every place in Lord of the Rings.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't really do me anything. I'm gonna go with Mordor. Just give me Mordor. Whatever.
It's Gondor.
Gondor?
It's Gondor.
Ugh. So dumb. So dumb.
Okay, fine. I'll give you a different one. We got
Okay.
one. We got one left. I'll give you a different one because that was a stupid. I don't like those kind of questions.
Yeah, that's dumb.
When he
right?
walked into frame, did he look up or down?
Oh yeah, but you didn't have any problem asking me that shit for Star. Write that down. You didn't have any problem asking me that for Star Wars.
Okay, here you go. Last one. Win or lose. Here you go. When Bilbo and Gandalf smoke their pipes together before Bilbo's party,
Yep.
where is the weed that Bilbo is smoking from?
Doesn't he say the finest weed in the South Farms?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It's South Farthing.
Fuck! Are you kidding me?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm impressed. I don't know if I would have gotten that one.
You gotta keep it through the. Well, I guess he's doing the outro. You can take it.
Well, no, because he lost the.
Yeah.
So he's got to do the outro again.
Okay. Suggestions, quick.
Go ahead. Start us off.
Oh, I'm gonna suggest The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring.
I'm gonna suggest the movie AI.
I'm not
'cause that's the
done.
top-
It's a great movie. A couple weeks ago, I talked about seeing the movie The Creator, which
He
is
doesn't
also
even
AI.
remember.
No, I just realized that that's like a completely different thought. Sorry, I'm a little overwhelmed from winning. But watching you lose was just like...
Crazy.
He did. Oh, yeah,
So-
I really. Oh.
So anyway, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, they're actually replaying it in a local theater here, and I might go
Really?
see it.
I would too.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
I went and saw Return of the King on Christmas Eve. Or sorry, it was New Year's Eve with my cousin, and we were like 12 or 13 years old when this came out. And our parents were like, yeah, go to a movie. That was like a tradition we had. Like me and my cousin would always go to a movie around Christmas or New Year's time when we were together in Indiana. And we went to see the movie, and our parents didn't realize it was like 3 hours and 45 minutes. So they showed up, no joke, probably an hour before it ended. And like, hey, where's our kids? Like, they went to see this movie, and the staff had to tell them, yeah, it's got another hour, man. You gotta
That's
go
how this.
outside.
That's how this outro feels.
Okay. Well,
Suggestion?
I'm going to suggest the movie AI. You should watch the movie AI. It's not amazing by any means, but it's good. Good watch. Very sad. Go ahead. Take us home.
No, you're taking us home. You got the
I don't
clown.
want to do it again, man.
Okay. Charlotte comes out tomorrow
Tomorrow.
on the Binc Film YouTube channel, not this channel. So
Wait a minute. Does the Binc Film Podcast have its own YouTube channel? Because I looked for it and I didn't
Yes.
see it. It does? Am I messing up?
Not so co-host.
I really don't think it does.
It
What
does.
do you think I've been doing the last
All right.
week?
Check us out on social media. Follow us everywhere. And Josh doesn't post anything. And we'll see you next week.
Well, hold on a second here. Come on. Give it a little bit more spice than that. Where can they find you? We do have a YouTube channel. And I'm subscribed to it. This is embarrassing.
All right. Shout out the social medias.
Thanks for watching the Big Film Podcast. We know you got a lot of choices when it comes to socials and when it comes to entertainment. Thank you for spending your time with us. We really do appreciate it. You can find us on social media. You can find myself at Stop That Rivers. You can find Eric Gordonberg, the EGB, at the handle Eric Gordonberg. You can also find our director, Michael Darwinberg, at the handle Michael Darwinberg. You can find us on Spotify at the Big Film Podcast. You can find us on TikTok at the Big Film Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at the Big Film Podcast. And make sure you give a love. I tripped over my words there. Make sure you show some love to the main page where it covers independent filmmaking and shows you some of the best short films you can find on the internet from Binc Film at our main pages, Binc Film. Thanks.
Comes out tomorrow.
And Charlotte comes out tomorrow. Why are we banned on Instagram again?
We'll talk about it next week. We're out of time.
Okay, that's fair enough. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Ah, muy, muy.
Cut.